I would like to review the following book that is a collection of games of this international master from Holland called Manuel Bosboom. The title is Chess Buccaneer, The Life and Games of Manuel Bosboom. It's a very interesting collection because in the back we can read there aren't many chess players who can say they have both beaten Garry Kasparov in an official blitz game and crush Peter Leko in a classical game in 26 moves, and who regularly win blitz tournaments high on marijuana. But then Manuel Bosboom is not an ordinary chess player. I would like to show the game, the blitz game with Garry Kasparov, because I think everybody likes Kasparov, and obviously it's interesting to see why he lost, since this game is from 1999. He was definitely at the top of his career, I think. So the game starts with e4, c5. Kasparov is white. Knight f3, d6, and c3. This is a very interesting move, right? With hindsight, Kasparov could have just played 3d4, not worrying about revealing any opening preparation, since Bosboom would most likely have been the one to deviate with something offbeat. Knight f6, bishop d3. This move is interesting, right? Because it's blocking the d pawn. Clearly, the bishop wants to go in c2 and then move or d3 or d4, right? But it cannot stay there. Bishop g4, bishop c2, g6. I think some moves are very interesting because they tell us some stories behind. For example, I think this is the move one should play, knight c6, right? Instead, g6 practically is going to trade this, because once h3 is played, what does it do? It goes back and wastes the tempo. So sometimes we must think what the opponent is telling us with these moves. So let's see how it continues. Yeah, h3, bishop takes f3, queen takes f3, bishop g7, and castle. Now here probably this move would have been interesting because it opens a lot, so it could have been interesting. So castle. Let's see. And also black castle. And now look, white plays queen d1. What does this tell you? This tells you that he wants to play f4 because the queen goes back, or he wants to move the knight on d2 and on f3. So he's trying to do space, no? So it's important to have the f3 square free. So knight c6, d3, rook b8. Okay, also this move, now sometimes they don't make comments in the game about this move, so I think it can be difficult for someone who is a beginner to understand what's going on. But in reality, once black moves this, it means that he wants to play b5, okay? So he wants to support the pawn advance. But this also tells you what is the plan. Practically, clearly black wants to attack on the queen side. So this is telling us that, okay? So let's see where we were. I lost the point. Yeah, knight d2. So you see, again, now we know that he wants to go here. b5, okay. And here there is a diagram, and it says black has a very easy plan, just pushing his queenside pawns supported by the fianchetto bishop. So it aims to attack in this way, okay? a3, knight d7, knight f3, knight d e5, knight takes e5, bishop takes e5, bishop e3, queen b6, king h1, bishop g7, f4. Very good. White's strategy is less straightforward as his attack is not automatic and he needs to keep a certain degree of control over the rest of the board. a5, queen c1. Now, instead of queen c1 in the book, and we must try, in order to become better player, to visualize the moves. It says bishop b3, if black plays b4, rook b1. Okay, so we need to visualize this move, and it says which activates the bishop while keeping everything defended. So bishop b3 for the book, the author of this book, was better move than queen c1. Okay, b4, bishop a4, rook f c8, rook b1, and now look, queen a6. This is a very interesting move because you see this rook at a certain point could be attacking this, so he already moves it out of the way. However, it says that black could have played b takes c3, and for this line, because it's obviously about 3-4 moves long, I think you need to get the book and watch it on your board. Okay, queen a6. It continues with c4. Also, this move is very interesting, right? Because black is now able to have an outpost here, no? In d4. So this move created that. Knight d4, queen d2, rook b6, f5, and queen b7. The comment here is the following. Now Kasparov makes another move that involves long-term positional risks, but for now it allows white to keep the position under control. Bishop takes d4, bishop takes d4, bishop b5, e6, f6. This f6 is given an exclamation point, which means it's a very good move, okay? And the comment is justifying white's previous play and creating direct mate threats. Obviously the mate threats is queen h6, queen g7, checkmate. Rook, not rook, king h8, because probably the checkmate threat can be stopped. Queen g5, obviously queen h6, rook here, and white is not winning, okay? So queen g5, queen c7, and now white made a mistake, which is rook b e1. He should have played a4. Very interesting. Yeah, because a4 at this point doesn't give any kind of counter attack on the queen side. Okay, so rook b e1 wasn't the right one. Luckily, black gives the favor back. He should have played bishop takes b2. Instead, he played queen d8. Rook e2, queen f8, and now there is another mistake. So the move that we said before should have been played was a4. In the time it was good, now is not good anymore. In this position, you could stop the video and try to find out which kind of move you should play as white. Okay, so if you stop the video, the move that was needed, it was g4. Okay, so this was the move needed to keep control of the position. Unfortunately, he played a4, which wasn't good anymore. Rook d8, b3, h6, queen h4, king h7, and rook f3. Now you must try to find the right move for black. This is also the good thing of chess books. Chess books are written by authors that put the diagram in the right moment to tell you to do an exercise. What would you play here as black? And you need to find the right move. Now the black player didn't find the right move, but obviously we are at move 33 and this is a blitz game, so obviously they can make a mistake. What did black play? d5, which here is 2 question points, which means it's a blunder. The right move should have been g5, and after queen h5, queen g8, followed by queen g6, and this look promising for black. Okay, instead d5 wasn't the right move, but again, this is a blitz game. This is the beauty, no? That black makes a mistake, but white also continue to make mistakes. White played e5. Now, obviously, you could, since you are not in a blitz game and you have time, you could analyze e takes d5 and see why it was the right move. Okay? Unfortunately, e5 wasn't the right move. D takes c4, bishop takes c4, and bishop c3. Now black's position is much easier to play, while white has no more attack on the king side. Rook e4, rook d4, rook f4, and rook b8. Obviously he cannot put it here. Either the notation is incorrect at this point, Manuel can't remember, or black could have just picked up the rook with g5. So he says, why didn't play this? Because, well, we obviously don't know. And maybe in 1999 they didn't have good DGT boards. I don't know what happened in 1999, okay? However, it was played rook b8. Rook takes d4. Bishop takes d4. Rook e4. Rook d8. Queen f4. And bishop c3. Here there is another diagram because you need to find what is white's best move in this position. Okay. White didn't find it. Garry Kasparov played h4, but is not good. The right move, once more, is g4. Okay? So, h4 mistake, h5, g4. Again, sometimes when you are too late, some of the moves that were right one move before just become another compound mistake. H takes g4, queen takes g4, queen h6, king g2, rook d4, and here there is another mistake by white that plays h5, queen d2. Here the book confirm that black could have played right away g takes h5, okay? So that was a possibility. Rook, queen e2, queen g5, king f1, g takes h5, rook takes d4, and bishop takes d4. The opposite color bishop clearly favor black. Yeah, why? Because obviously there is a checkmate here. This is an important thing to understand, because not all the opposite color bishop endgames are equal, and so it's kind of important to understand that. Okay, so queen e4, check, king h6, queen a8, trying to counter-attack. A last attempt at getting counterplay, but black is forced. Okay, queen g1, king d2, queen e3, king d1, and queen g1, repeating once to return to the previous position. King d2, queen h2, king d1, and boom, and the game is over. White resign, he doesn't have a perpetual check, and is stuck in a mating net himself. So this was the game against Kasparov. If you like the book and you like this type of review, you can eventually write a comment, and I will also put the game against Leko. I hope that you give this book a chance, because once more it seems an interesting book with interesting games, and that's what we should watch in chess sometimes, some exciting games that happened in the past.